Hello students. So in our previous class we discussed about the terms related to sound wave, but there were two more terms that I forgot to discuss, and that one we will be discussing today. Okay, so the next term related to sound wave is amplitude. Amplitude denoted by capital A. Okay, so what is amplitude? The magnitude of the maximum disturbance. Maximum disturbance in the medium on either side of the mean value is called amplitude. Okay, so the magnitude of the maximum disturbance in the medium on either side of the mean value is called amplitude. So what is the disturbance referred here? Disturbance means the variation of pressure, where the pressure is maximum or where the pressure is minimum on either side of the mean value. Now what do you mean by mean value? Look at this graph here. This x-axis, this one represents the mean value. On either side maximum and minimum disturbance is created, and this one is the mean value. Okay, where the pressure or the density is 0. If you see this point, these points here, this represents that at these points the pressure or the density is 0. Again here it becomes less than, that means it decreases more. Clear? And then again it increases. So this type of variation takes place. So this one is the mean value or the mean position. So the magnitude of the maximum disturbance in the medium on either side of the mean value. So on either side of the mean values, that means from here, if we see from this mean value, from this point, this is the maximum disturbance, maximum variation pressure. This is called an amplitude, or you can also say that this point from here to this one is the minimum pressure. So this is the amplitude. Okay, so amplitude means the maximum disturbance. It can be maximum pressure or it can be minimum pressure. Where maximum disturbance is produced, that magnitude of maximum disturbance from the mean position or from the mean value is called what? Amplitude. Clear? So what will be its SI unit? Since it is also displacement, so its SI unit will be meter. Okay. Next term that I am going to discuss is wave speed. Number 5, wave speed. What is wave speed? The distance that a compression or a rarefaction would travel per unit time is called wave speed. Okay, distance traveled by a compression oblique rarefaction per second or per unit time is called wave speed. Okay, so what will be its SI unit? So its SI unit will be, since it is speed, so its SI unit will be meter per second. Clear? So this is what we call wave speed, distance traveled by a compression or a rarefaction per unit time. As we know that I have discussed earlier also, that when a body vibrates, the compression and the rarefaction moves forward. I have told you, I have discussed the phenomenon also, how they travel in the forward direction. So per unit time, how much distance they cover, that is called the wave speed. Clear? Now next is, we will find a relation between frequency and time period. The next topic is relation between time period capital T and frequency nu. Okay, so we will determine the relation between time period and frequency. First of all, from the definition of time period, we know that time period is the time taken to complete one oscillation. And what is frequency? Frequency is the number of oscillations that are produced per unit or in 1 second. Clear? So first of all, we will write here that number of oscillations before that we will write time taken for in time capital T. In time capital T, number of oscillation. How many oscillation will be completed in time capital T? Number of oscillation will be 1, because we know time period is that one only, that in it is the number of if it is the time taken to complete one oscillation, which is called time period. As per the definition, it is the number of it is the time taken to complete one oscillation. Okay, now in time 1 second, number of oscillation, just go for unitary method, the number of oscillation will be 1 upon T. So this is the definition of frequency, the number of oscillation that takes place in 1 second. That means, what is the number of oscillation? The number of oscillation that is taking place in 1 second is 1 by capital T. Therefore, we can say that frequency is the reciprocal of time period. Number of oscillations per second. In time T, number of oscillation is 1 from the definition of time period, and in time 1 second, number of oscillation will be 1 upon T. So this number of oscillation is taking place in 1 second, which is nothing but the frequency. So nu is equal to 1 upon T. Clear? So from here we can also write that SI unit of nu. Either we can write it as hertz, or we can also write it as per second, because it is the reciprocal of time period. So it will be what? Time period, its unit is second, so it will be per second. Clear? So this is the relation between frequency and time period. Okay. Next one is relation between wave speed v, wave speed v, frequency, very important relation, frequency nu, and wavelength is lambda. Okay, so now let us see the sound wave here. We are drawing a pressure oblique density displacement graph. So we have got a graph like this. Okay, so here the distance between these 2 points is what? The wavelength. And what is the time interval? Because from here also we can say that from here till here, from the time interval between 2 consecutive compression or the time interval between 2 consecutive rarefaction is called time period. Like I have said, the time interval to complete one oscillation, from here if you consider this is the first oscillation, from here if you consider this one will be the first oscillation, from any point you can consider. Okay, so the time interval between 2 consecutive compression is the time period. Okay, so here we can say that the wave speed is this one, that means the speed with which the wave is moving in the forward direction. Okay, so here we can say that v, wave speed, if we check these 2 points, between these 2 points, what is the distance covered? We know that speed is equal to distance by time. So what is the distance covered? The distance covered is lambda. And what is the time taken? The time taken is capital T. V, the velocity of the sound wave between these 2 points if I see, then the distance covered by the wave is a wavelength, that is lambda, divided by what is the time between these 2 points, time interval between these 2 points, which is the time period, or V is equal to lambda, and what is 1 upon T? It is nu. So this is the relation between velocity, wave speed, wavelength and frequency. So we can say that velocity is equal to frequency into wavelength. Very important relation, you should remember this. Velocity is frequency into wavelength. Clear? Now the next one is, I should have discussed the next topic earlier, but now I am discussing that one, that is sound requires a medium to propagate. So here I will give you an activity to write. You will write it by yourself. I will show you the way how to write. First of all, you can say that sound wave is a mechanical wave. Mechanical wave. Why? Now mechanical wave means mechanical waves are waves which require a medium to travel. So if there is no medium, mechanical wave will not be able to travel. Okay, So mechanical wave requires a medium to travel, like sound. Sound cannot travel in vacuum. Okay, so these are called mechanical waves. So we know that sound requires medium to travel. That is why sound is also referred to as mechanical wave. Since sound requires a medium to travel, it is referred as mechanical wave. Okay, clear? Mechanical waves are those waves which require medium. Now sound also require medium to travel. That is why sound wave are also termed as mechanical wave. Now the activity you will write by yourself. I will show you the process. Activity. Now the activity is the Bell-Jar experiment. Bell-Jar experiment. You see the diagram is given there in your book. There is a jar. And you have a bell which is connected to the circuit. It is connected to the circuit. Suppose this is a voltage, means a battery. It is connected to a circuit. Now here at the bottom there is a vacuum pump. Okay, just a rough diagram I am drawing. So in this experiment, what is done? There is a vacuum pump which can pump out the air from the bell jar. It can take out the air from inside the bell jar. Now from the jar. Now a bell is there. Okay. Now when the bell rings, initially when the bell rings, we can hear the sound. Now as we pump out the air from inside the jar, this sound that is emitted by the bell will go on decreasing. That means it will become milder and milder, and ultimately when the entire air is pumped out, you will see that the bell is ringing, but you will not hear any sound. That means what? This part of this region is completely made vacuum. That means there is no air, there is no medium. As a result, the sound that was emitted by the bell was not able to come out because there was no medium. And as sound is a mechanical wave, it will require a medium to travel. Clear? Now, how should you write this activity? First of all, you will write the aim. What will be the aim? Aim is, it is an activity to show that sound requires a medium to propagate. That one will be the aim. Activity to show that sound requires or experiment to show that sound requires a medium to propagate. You should draw the diagram. Next is material used. What materials are used here? So we can say the materials that are used: an electric bell connected to a circuit, a jar, a vacuum pump which is fixed at the bottom of the jar, which can take out the air from the jar. Okay, so this is these are the material used. Now next is procedure. How do you proceed? How do you do the experiment? Okay, step by step you will write. This is the way to write an activity. This should be the heading. So procedure is, initially the bell is connected to the circuit which is switched on and the bell starts ringing. Now the vacuum pump is used to exhale the air from the jar. Okay, this one will be your procedure. Okay, what you have done. Next is, this is the first this is second, and this one is third. Next is the fourth part will be the observation. Observation means what you have observed. So what you have observed, that initially when the bell starts ringing, the sound was heard. When the air is pumped out of the jar, the sound emitted by the bell goes on decreasing, and when the entire air is pumped out, the sound no sound is heard. Okay, and lastly you will write the conclusion. So conclusion, what will you write in the conclusion? That since now when there was vacuum, when vacuum was created inside the jar, no sound was heard. This experimentally proves that sound requires a medium to travel. Okay, that one will be your final conclusion. Okay, so you follow these steps, you give the heading like this: aim, material use, procedure, observation and conclusion. You write the activity nicely. Okay, obviously you will draw the diagram, you will write the activity nicely, and you can share this on my WhatsApp number. Okay, I will check how well you have written it. Clear? So that much for today. Thank you.